Good morning and welcome to Pat's Couch. It's exciting today. I have with me my business partner of 20 years, John Prange.
I've suffered through it.
Welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're having a great spring day and we're all ready to kick off fun in the sun this summer. What we want to go through today is emerging trends, things that we're seeing. I have a few questions for John to respond to how smart data is handling some of these areas. Let's start out with everybody's favorite, COVID-19 claims processing. And it all starts with most staffs working remotely during the pandemic, and many of the insurers have made some swift transitions to remote processing. You know, the benefits of lower costs related to in-person loss inspections, improved customer experience, expedited claims processing. This is only going to continue. John, what is SDS doing in that area?
Well, we've attacked it from two fronts. One is to automate. Two is to ensure we have secure remote working environment. When we refer to automation, we have two different levels of automation. One is the actual training and certification of employees, using things such as video tutorials with associated testing, that kind of thing, allows us to manage the people more effectively. Secondly, we want to do is just reduce the overall amount of work that needs to be done remotely. Here, what we've done is use machine learning and AI to automate processes. So for example, anything from processing an appeal, where we use machine learning to identify its intent and other related higher level functions, to something as simple as using machine learning to automate data capture. So with those two things, we've been fortunate that we're able to adapt to the pandemic. As our clients are aware, we did not miss a beat with regard to turnaround time and production throughout the entire experience.
Awesome. Okay, let's move to virtual digital mailroom solutions. You know, as advancements continue, and the mailroom continues to digitize with help of automation. You know, we have improved data security, data collection speed, higher auto adjudication rates. A lot of savings to be had for everybody. What are we doing in that virtual digital mailroom solution area?
Our approach allows a little more flexibility for clients. What we have is an a la carte solutions that you can plug in as you would like, depending on your specific business needs. So what are the components there? We have, for example, web upload. For any authorized workstation can upload any document and immediately insert it into your workflow. You've got the standard fax gateway, which everybody knows, pretty straightforward, not an issue there. We also have scanning kiosks that can be used. We can set up a scanning kiosk anywhere for a client. So if someone may, for example, outsource their mailroom to us, but still have mail that trickles in that's important, well, you can have a small scanning kiosk that inserts that you can scan on site as necessary while still using our mailroom. Just to note, that same technology is used to allow us to provide robust disaster recovery. Now, finally, all that is complemented by workflow, which allows you to have any workflow. We have a very flexible workflow engine that allows you, based on events such as data, time, user, to trigger the movement of documents and the capture of data on them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good stuff. Let's move on to everybody's favorite, heightened cybersecurity. Hackers have really stepped up their game as of late, as you've seen. The attacks have really emphasized the importance of strong cybersecurity and investment in secure data storage. IT teams will need to effectively communicate good cyber hygiene to their staffs. I know we're doing quite a bit of that here. We're going to see more investing in that area. What is smart data? We talk about this in every Pat's Couch, I think, but what else we got going on recently in the cybersecurity area?
Well, to begin with, as you people probably know, we are HITRUST certified. That is the gold standard for security. We've spent millions of dollars on it, and frankly, it's slowed us down a little bit in other areas because it's such a comprehensive and intense effort. Well, what comes with that? Part and parcel with that is protection of PHI on every level. Kind of things that are accessible beyond the highly, deeply technical things are facility access security. Every employee at Smart Data gets what they are test phishing emails. I'd like to know that I've only clicked on one so far in the last 3 years, and it was a tricky one.
Myself as well.
We're training the employees to be cognizant of that. Of course, all workers get background checks. Our workstations use something called a virtual desktop that allows us to execute total control over that workstation. Now we complement that with dual factor authentication and IP address restrictions. All these things allow us to be as secure as humanly possible. And then I'd like to also note that our overall technical infrastructure is designed for security, but those are just designs. What really tests the security? We do things called penetration audits, where we hire third parties to scan just as a hacker would to try to penetrate to get within our technical infrastructure. And that's reported out independently to us and to auditors to ensure we remain secure.
Security thing never really stops for us, but let's
No,
move on
ongoing.
to EHRs evolving with the new capabilities, in particular interoperability. And prior to the coronavirus coming on, so many of those conferences were dealing with new technologies and interoperability like FHIR, things like that, even though we have something that works quite well if people would use it completely. But with the new regulations coming out and the aim to help patients gain better control of their health data via smartphone apps, and interoperability is expected to increase between providers, payers, and health tech developers. You got all this interoperability. John, what are we doing new in that area?
Okay, I want to begin with saying interoperability right now is a talking point. It is not a technology. We have the FHIR technology, but we don't have general adaptation of it. So I wouldn't say we're on the sidelines. We're watching. We've developed our FHIR capability, and now we're trying to understand how it's going to be used and how it's going to be purposed within the technical, overall healthcare realm. I'd like to note the FHIR solution does not solve a critical issue, and that is authentication and associated security. And we're waiting to see how that plays out. Once that plays out, we're going to know better how we're going to position ourselves. Right now, we're seeing FHIR used by our clients as a means of disparate system communication within their companies.
Very
we're waiting for
minimally,
that
though.
to come out. Yeah, but we're waiting for that. That's the adaptation we're seeing so far.
We'll see where that goes, or if that sticks around. Again, I think at one of the conferences I hit in the fall of 2019, there must have been 3 or 4 different interoperability efforts in different areas, and I just think not all these technologies can be adapted, but we'll see where that goes. Let's finish up here with the advancements in AI and machine learning. It was a big, the last 18 months, well, I'll say 14 months, have been huge for us in that area. So why don't you expound a bit on your thoughts there?
Well, we'd like to say we had the clairvoyance to know that AI was coming, but I think what really happened is Pat and I were at a happy hour with employees, and one was doing machine learning as a hobby and talked to us about it. And that was a couple of years ago, and we got interested. And suddenly went from a developer to in charge of our AI department, and we've developed since then. So since that point, AI has become critical to both our service delivery and our internal operations. As you may know, AI is based on a bunch of well understood algorithms. They're typically developed in academic communities. What differentiates you with it is the way in which you use it and the architecture that you have to use it. And that's really what we've worked on. We have a extensive development architecture that allows us to plug in a multitude of algorithms for both AI and deep learning and do measurements on the accuracy and automation and rapidly iterate. Secondly, we have something called a self-curating technical environment. Self-curation means the ability, I liken it to a human. I'm working on processing claims and I make a mistake and my supervisor gives me feedback on that mistake. Now I'm getting better at it. Well, we've done, the machine learning does make mistakes, and we have the same thing. We audit the machine, and when it makes a mistake, we provide that feedback. But the difference between my human example is that with machine learning, this is an automated process. As such, we've overcome what's considered the Achilles heel of machine learning, and that is how much IT resources it takes to keep it going. As many people know, automation rots over time, and we've prevented that rot. So how does that manifest itself? It manifests itself in better service and better internal operations. So, for example, appeals operations, we are able to automate what is done by humans traditionally. We are also able to referral auths. We are now working to develop capabilities for referral auths. And then for the back office, we've been able to take been able to address some very serious issues with labor availability. We've been able to take what used to be complex jobs within our company and simplify them such that we can take people off the street and immediately make them productive and not be subservient to one person's specific knowledge of a workflow. And that's been critical for us. I frankly don't know how our competitors do it without it.
Awesome. Well, there you have it. There's our 6 or 7 minute overview on emerging trends. Thank you again for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Pat Bollom. This is John Prange.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.